What do we got?
So we did come from a spaceship. Of course we did. And there's another out there? What was the Beagle? Why did she and the Galathea part? But all of that in time. First, we must find her. She's not in this star system. I would have spotted her. I've studied the celestial bodies for years. No trace of a spaceship in orbit here or around the other planets. The radio telescope! It has a default position. It resets every morning. I always wondered, why point at Bell 5? Petty frustration I've dealt with for years. But perhaps the facility looks for her sister. Yes! Yes, it makes sense. I can send you the coordinates. The Bell Star system is not far. The facility communicates via a secure frequency. When you arrive, tune into that.
I've got some stuff on my mind when you have the time.
Yes, you're here. Look at those beautiful stars.
Too neat. Anything. Your clothes cleaned, your boots polished, your mirror shined. that you destroyed the Crimson Fleet with nothing but your bare hands and the sacrifice you sold it with me.
Ha! Ooh! We're here, hot off the stellar slide.
Sorry, I plain forgot what I wanted to talk with you about. That girl. If Cora leaves her tools out one more time... I mean, I love her more than life itself, but I can only say the same damn thing so many times. That's Cora to a T. I mean, this is between me and you, but Cora wasn't exactly planned. I don't know if I mentioned, but I served a spell in the Freestar Rangers. Had a partner, Lillian Hartz. Well, we were like fire and ice, but, well, it wasn't all bad. She's one of their top rangers, so they keep her in the field a lot. That's how she likes it. Well, it wasn't by choice. It was a lousy fit. Maybe someday I'll get into it. I'm just happy I found Constellation. Best damn organization in the settled systems, you ask me. Understatement of the century. Hell, when Cora was born, I was completely out of my depth. For the first few months, I kept thinking, what a colossal mistake I made. Me, a father. But one late night, early morning, whatever, little Cora gave me my first smile. And I knew I'd do anything for that girl. Well, Mrs. Lillian Co. was right there with me. And as bad as I had it with nursing at all hours, I know I had it comparatively easy. But that don't mean those first few months were good by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, sure don't feel like it. You said Cora's great, and I think so too. But I see so much of myself in her. I've I've done things I'm not proud of. Said things even worse. I try to be better for Cora, but is she gonna fall into the same traps? Well, it's bad enough. Let me put it that way. And that's the truth there. I know it seems crazy, towing her across the stars, but I'm not exactly swimming with options here. Her mother... Like I said, another story, another time. And what, have her raised by Jacob, my dad? I'd sooner ship her off to Vladimir. No, not really. Lillian and me don't have any siblings. We'd have to start looking into really extended family for other relations. I wouldn't want to anyway. Looking after Cora, that's not something I want to pawn off on someone. You think? Well, she does say the damnedest things. And if she just learned to pick up after herself, she just might live until she's 13.
Nice suit.
Take a look around. Take a gander.
My life trying to get out of this place. Any day you make it through, I wouldn't say no to... So long.
You don't need to wear your helmet on this planet.
It's true. My husband runs one of the most successful businesses in the Freestar Collective. But I still think we can do better. If you're here for Weston, he's underfoot somewhere. Either here or at the factory. But please, if it's about that brewing nonsense, kindly leave. They don't need any more encouragement. Dear me, no, Weston's a fine man. If anything, that's why I want more from him. He could do even greater things, if only he could see that. Oh, sorry. My nerves are frayed. So many people coming and going for the company. Weston, that's my husband. Well, he's never been what I'd call a dreamer or a visionary. He's a practical man, good with ledgers and numbers. His brother Henry's the creative one, but he seems to have lost interest in growing the company, and now all he wants to do is brew beer. Filburn Agricultural Systems could provide the whole of the settled systems with food, not just Aquila City. Seems those two are content to think small. Well, I wish you were the one I had to convince. Well, you didn't come here to hear me natter on. Anything else? And try to come between Weston and his brother? They'd never allow it. Oh, I've tried to drop hints and make suggestions, but it all falls on deaf ears. I don't mean to sound ungrateful, of course. The company's healthy, and Weston and I live well enough. I'd like to help, you know? I'd like to be a part of things instead of feeling like I'm playing second fiddle. I suppose I should just accept my lot and try to find peace with it. Well, no, not as such. I mean, the business is doing just fine, but it could be doing even better. Those knuckleheads have so much God-given talent, and I just wish they used it better. Well, there is. The stakes are huge. With further R&D on IntelliWheat, the entire settled systems could benefit. Surely that's worth some less than savory solutions. Right now, it's tailored to Aquila's biomes, allowing wheat to flourish in places it normally couldn't. But if Henry applied himself, who knows where else we could grow IntelliWheat? He may be frustrating, but Henry's the smartest person I've ever met. Just don't tell him that. Exactly. Henry's pet project is tied to market perception. His beer, annoyingly, is really good. But if we could make a bad batch, terrible, really, his margins are tight enough he might be forced to throw in the towel. Henry bores everyone to tears about how crafting beer is so much more art than science. It's delicate. Surely it wouldn't be too hard to mess it up, right? It should be easy. The next big batch of beer is almost done brewing in our factory. You just need to find a way to break in without getting caught by the guard and tamper with it somehow. Then just wait a day or so and see how the batch goes over at the Stone Root Inn. Do that, and I'll pay you handsomely. That's the last I'll talk of this.
You really going through with it?
I get tired of it.
Be careful. A simple fall ain't so simple in high gravity.
I'm Annie Wilcox. You're new in town, aren't you? That means I'm gonna keep my eye on you. That's a real suspicious thing to say. You better pick your words carefully around here. See, I work for the Freestar Rangers. I'm the first ever Ranger Surveillance Assistant. And that's not some dumb made-up title. Ranger Emma Wilcox gave it to me, so it's official. I watch people and listen to them. If I hear something about smuggling or Aurora or gangs, I tell the Rangers. It's easy, because no one pays attention to kids. Plus, I know a lot of good hiding places all over the city. That's right. She's a senior ranger, which means she's in charge of me and all the other rangers. Well, except Diego, because he's a senior ranger too. Oh, and the marshal. He's in charge of all the rangers. I'm the best ranger surveillance assistant that ever lived. Someday, I'll teach other kids the tricks of the trade. Gotta prepare the next generation, because I won't be here forever. So what's it gonna be? Are you gonna be a law-abiding citizen? Or are you gonna be on my list? I had a feeling you'd say that. It's that look in your eye that says, I don't care about the law. Well, if I was you, I'd watch my step around here. Because this Aquila City is under the protection of the Freestar Rangers. Ain't no lawbreaker who can get away from them. Once the Rangers are after you, you're as good as got. Don't say you ain't been warned. Aquila City is just crawling with crime. It's everywhere. And it's up to us Rangers to do something about it.
And Ranger Surveillance Assistants.
Someone's stealing guns and stuff from Laredo Arms.
And none of the adults believe us.
So we're hoping, you know, you can help us break it all open. Emily was right about you. I was doing my ranger patrol one night, and there was a suspicious character casing Laredo Arms. I watched him as long as I could, but I had to rush home for bedtime. First thing in the morning, I came back and interrogated Justin Sneed. And he said they were tracking down an inventory discrepancy. I told him about the suspicious stranger, but Mr. Sneed didn't believe me. I couldn't prove anything, but the suspect was acting all sorts of funny. He was trying to make sure no one could see him. My mom says you have to listen to your gut in this business. I just know he's a thief. I've checked back regularly with Mr. Saneem. Well, up until he told me I'm trespassing. And he said their new inventory system keeps, hiccuping. But it's no hiccup. It's robbery. This case was too big for just one ranger, so I deputized Emily.
I'm an assistant ranger surveillance assistant.
Or, something like that. And we found out that the thief breaks in most nights, but like, really late. He's got his own key card. We just need to catch him. Security will believe you. We did all the things. Crime scene investigated. Witnesses interviewed. And suspect tailed.
You did all that. Aquila City Security's got competition. Oh, please don't tell Cora. She's, handful enough without getting more ambitious ideas.
I followed the suspect all day. He had no idea.
Emily caught him opening the side door one night. That's when we knew for sure we have an actual criminal here. You're doing Aquila City a big service. Best I figure he's there around midnight. You need to wait for him to exit Laredo, then catch him red-handed. We need to bring him to justice.
I'm so screwed. What? Shit.
Yeah? I won't. Oh, God. This can't be happening. Oh, God, no. Security.
Everyone, don't move! Don't anybody move. Let's see. If it ain't the hero of Galbank. And who do we have here? Looks like you're carrying a lot of weapons for a nighttime stroll.
Hell, I give up.
Smart move. I got a tip something was going down tonight. Was little Annie actually right about all this? Who would have thunk it, right? I got it from here. Aquila City owes you again. And, thank Annie for me. Dear God, she's never gonna let us hear the end of this.
Got to admit, I'm impressed how fast.
Did you catch the thief? Tell me it worked.
Annie, what are you doing up? It's way past your bedtime.
Mom, I have to know. You got him right? Right? I knew it!
Annie L. Wilcox, what did you do?
I told you about it. You know the Laredo robberies? Well, we caught the thief.
Wait, so that's real?
Of course, Mom. I told you.
She's telling the truth. You're not pulling my leg, right? I can't believe it. Annie, we'll talk more about this later. But I'm proud of you. But you've got to be careful.
Yes, Mom. I'm gonna be the best ranger surveillance assistant ever.
Thank you for helping my girl and anything else involved. Take this. Lord preserve me.
Aquila City is safe because of my mom and me. Oh, and the other rangers.